This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in today's session, as I told you, so we will be going to talk about collections framework. Okay, so collections is very important, not only for Java 8, not only for Java 8, but for your future. So when you go into the industry, so nowadays everything is like using collections only. Okay, so using collections, so that is what is very much important. So basically, collections is a framework. Collections is a framework. So up to now, you have seen arrays. So what was the problem with arrays basically? The problem with arrays was problem with arrays, or I should not say problem, I should say limitation of arrays. Okay. So what is the limitation of the array? Okay. So the limitation of the array was, or I should say is, okay, is it is static in nature. It is static in nature. So why you are saying that it is static in nature basically? Uh, Once you create an array, so we cannot increase the array, we cannot decrease the array. Yes or no? We cannot increase the array, we cannot decrease the array. Yes or no? So that is why we are calling it as static. What we are calling it as? We are calling it as static. Why sir it is static? Because you cannot increase or you cannot decrease the size. You cannot decrease the size. And one more thing is you can have only one type of element. You can have only one type of element. So you cannot have heterogeneous elements basically. So you will have only homogeneous elements. Homogeneous elements means, for example, I will say int array is equal to, so int array is equal to, I will say 5 comma 8 comma 9 comma 2 comma 4, means this array will contain only what? Contain only, this array will contain only what? This array will contain only integers. Array will contain only integers. So 5 8 9 2 4, what are these? These are only integers. So you cannot have float values here. Why? Because you said it is an int, no? It is an int. Suppose it is a float array, you will have float values only. Okay? Getting my point? Okay. And one more thing is, you cannot increase or decrease. So now you cannot put an element in the runtime. So you cannot put an element in the runtime. So in the runtime, you cannot increase it. You cannot decrease it. So if you want to use, you have to use these values only. These values only. Okay. So that is why we are calling it as static. We are calling it as static. Okay. So one more information I want to give is, so you can also have an object array. You can also have an object array. So what is an object array again? Object array will contain all kinds of objects. Okay, see, still it is homogeneous only. Don't say as it contains all kinds of elements. Now, for example, I will say 45. Okay, so 8.5. I'll say true. I'll say hello. Okay, so what are all this? These are all objects. What are all this? These are all objects. These are all objects. So whenever you're talking about object array is a collection of objects, but it is still homogeneous only. Why sir? Why you are calling it as homogeneous? So this is also homogeneous and this is also homogeneous only. So why sir you are calling them as homogeneous? I'm calling them as homogeneous because this array is of all objects. This array is of all integers. Yes? Okay. Now, what we want? We want a collection of elements that can contain all types of elements. Point number one. Okay. So what I want? What is the need of the hour? What is the need now? What is the need? The need. You want to work with the collection of elements. You want point number one. Dynamic arrays. What do you want? Dynamic arrays. What is the need of the hour? You want dynamic arrays. Dynamic arrays means you can increase or you can decrease. So dynamic arrays means what? We can increase, we can increase or decrease the size. We can increase or decrease the size. So what are dynamic arrays? Dynamic arrays means the arrays where we can increase or decrease the size. Increase or decrease the size. That is first thing. We want that dynamic arrays, and next one we want heterogeneous collection of elements. Heterogeneous collection of elements. Heterogeneous collection of elements. Heterogeneous collections means all types of elements. All types of elements. So you want this. Okay. So literally what you want? You want this, and you can increase. You can increase. Now for example, I want something like null. Want to increase. You want to increase. So if you want to, if you increase, they become dynamic arrays, right? If you decrease, they become dynamic arrays. Now for example, I want to decrease one or two elements. So increasing, so this is what? Increasing the size. Increasing the size. Okay. Now I will take, okay, so I will take this array, and what I did here, I decreased the array. I decreased the array. Okay, so decreasing took place, decreasing took place or not? Decreasing the size, decreasing took place or not? So I increased the size also, I decreased the size also. I increased the size, I decreased the size. Okay, right. Then I want, I want all types of elements. All types of elements are there or not? Yes or no? You have integers, you have float values, you have string, etc., 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 boolean, everything. Sir, in object array also you have, can you call it as a collection? Definitely yes. But it is a static collection. It is a static collection, and this is a dynamic collection. Why, sir, you are saying dynamic collection? Because it is having elements of all types, point number one. And second one, it is having elements which can be increased or decreased. It is as simple as that. Am I crystal clear now? Yes or no? Okay, so who is going to give that, sir? Collections framework is going to give you all that. So collections framework is giving us the classes and the interfaces that support dynamic array concept. So dynamic array and heterogeneous collection of elements. Heterogeneous collection of elements. So collection framework is giving us the classes and the interfaces that support dynamic array concept and the heterogeneous collection of elements. Simple. We'll make it very, very simple. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now what are the interfaces that it is giving? What are the classes that it is giving? We'll see. Okay. So we have the following interfaces. We have the following interfaces. So first one, list interface. What is the first one? List interface. What is the first one, sir? List interface. Second one, set interface. What is the second one? Set interface. We have interfaces. Interfaces. So list interface, set interfaces. Third one is map interface. What is the third one? Map interface. So what is the first one, sir? List interface. What is the second one, sir? Set interface. What is the third one, sir? Map interface. What is the third one? Map interface. Getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. Getting it? Yes. So what we are going to work with? We are going to work with list interface, set interface, and the map interface. So what does list interface give you? What does set interface give you? What does map interface give you? We will talk So list interface. List interface it provides us with the classes that support to hold a collection of elements. Hold a collection of elements. Hold a collection of elements. Dynamic array. So dynamic array of elements. It provides us the classes that support to hold a collection of elements. Is that clear? Yes or no? Okay. So what are the see list interface is giving me the children of the list interface. So when I say list, so list is a interface basically. What is list, sir? List is an interface. Now we have the array list class. Which class? Array list class. We have which class? Array list class. We have linked list class. We have linked list class. We have a vector class. We have a vector class. And we have a stack class. We have a stack class. Stack is the child of the vector. Stack is the child of the vector. So you have an extends relationship. Okay. Now array list is also the child of the list interface. So what we will have here? We will have implement. What will have here? Implement. So linked list. This is also implement. This is also implement. And here also implement. Getting my point? Yes or no? So we have vector, linked list, array list are the implementations of which interface? List interface. So we have some methods in list, right? So all those methods are used in array list also, linked list also, vector also, and stack also. So stack additionally contain the methods of the vector. Am I clear? Now we have to look at array list, linked list, vector, and stack. Once you understand array list, all the things are very easy. All the things are very, very easy. Okay. Now let's understand these things. And one more thing I need to tell you over here is all this collection framework is available to us in the util package. In which package? In util package. Okay. So I'll make a small note here. The collection framework is the collection framework is available in java.util package. Java.util package. So collection framework is available in this package? Java.util package. Collection framework is available in this package, sir? Java.util package. So what you have to do? You have to import that. You have to import. So what you have to import? You have to import java.util package. Okay. Now let's look at it. Now let's create a class. Okay. So let's create a package first. A new package collection package. Okay. So collection pack. So just right click here. So new class. Okay. So collection demo. So collection demo I will say. Now what I have to do? I have to import first. I have to import. So it's a package. It's a package. So your program is in collection pack, but you have to import what? Import java.util. What do you have to import? Java.util.start. Okay, so java.util.start. So what you are doing here? You are importing. What you are importing? You are importing the java.util package. You are importing which package? Java.util package. Java.util.start. Okay. Then what you are saying? Collection demo. So public static void main string args. Okay. Now basic idea here is we will create an array list class. Array list class object. Okay, so what we are creating now? Array list class object. So I will say al1 is equal to al1 is equal to new array list. New array list. So like this, we have to create the array list object. Now, what is array list object can do? Array list object can hold multiple elements. AL1 is a reference of the array list object which can hold multiple elements. Which can hold multiple elements. Yes? Yes? Okay. Now, okay, let me put this here in the notes. Okay, first we will talk about array list class. Okay, so how we create the array list class? Like this. Okay, now what is AL1? AL1 is a reference. Who is AL1? AL1 is a reference of the array list. What AL1 can hold, you know? AL1 can hold 45. AL1 can hold 8.5. AL1 can hold true. AL1 can hold null. Okay. AL1 can even hold duplicate elements. AL1 can even hold duplicate elements. So everything is object now. True object, 45 object, 8.5 object, true object, null object. So you can have null. So now what is A1? A1 is an object of objects. Basically reference only. Okay, reference only. I am not saying no. But exactly we can call it as an object here because we are referencing the object. No. So now for example, if I am saying A is equal to 10. So now what is 10? 10 is assigned to A, no? Yes. Now A is 10, we say, no, like that. Okay. But exactly the name is the reference. So what is the name of this? This is reference. Okay. So I will have something like hello also. Now what is A1? A1 is a collection of objects. Collection. Okay. And what are the two things that we can have? The two things that we can have are dynamic arrays. So they are dynamic in nature. Point number two. First one is dynamic in nature. Point number two, heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous means all types of elements. You have true Boolean element, 45 integer element, 8.5 float element or a double element. Okay, true again bool, null element, hello. So null object, hello string object. Like this, we can have all types of objects. Okay. Now, if I have to define an array list, it is an implementation of a list interface. It is an implementation of the list interface that can hold a collection of objects. That can hold a collection of objects of any type. Of any type. Okay. It can have duplicates. It can have duplicates also. It can have what? It can have duplicates also. It can have what? Duplicates also. That can hold a collection of objects of any type. It can have duplicates also. So you can have what? Duplicates also. You can have not only that it will contain objects of same type. It also contains duplicates. It also contains duplicates. Am I clear? Yes. So that's the way that you look into the thing. Am I perfect in this? Making you understanding? Right. Okay. So it can have duplicates also. Okay. So it is also known as collection of objects. Object of objects. Okay. So object it is also referred as an object of object of object. Object of object. Referred as what? Referred as object of object. Object of object. Implementation of the list interface that can hold a collection of objects of any type. It can have duplicates also. It is referred as object of objects, and we can even increase or decrease, increase or decrease the size, decrease the size. So 10 elements are there initially. So we can make it 11 elements. We can make it 9 elements also. Yes. How to delete and all, I'll show you. Am I clear? Okay. Now, now let's see what will happen when you do this. Okay. So now AL1 can be used for doing all the updations. Now array list is empty. Now array list is empty. You don't have any elements. So system.out.println. So if I am printing AL1, now array list is empty. We don't have any elements. We don't have any elements, right? Now let's see what all we can do. Okay. AL1 dot add. So what I am having over here. Now how you understand this? Okay. Now I will say adding the elements, adding the elements into the array list. So once you understand array list, everything is very, very easy. Array list, if you understand Java, it we can start, no problem at all. Okay. So adding the elements into the array list. So now what we are doing? We are adding the elements. Okay. So how we are going to add the elements? How we are going to add the elements? By using these methods. What are they? These are the methods. These are the methods. So now how you understand this? How you understand this? Okay. Now this green circle is public. Green circle is what? Public. Okay. Add method is public. Add method is public. Okay. Now try and understand. Now think that somebody has created a class. Somebody has created a class. This class. How they have created? Green circle is what? I'll show you the proof also. Green circle is what? Public. Now what is add? Name of the method. Name of the method. Okay. Name of the method. What add is containing? Add is containing object. Add is containing object. Means into add you can send the object. You can send the object. Okay. Now what is boolean? Boolean is the return type. Boolean is the return type. So what it returns? It returns a boolean value. Add takes the object, returns the boolean value. Add takes the object and gives the boolean value. And it is of what type? Public type. Public type means wherever you want you can use. Now we are going to use that. So that is somewhere in util. If in util it is public, then only I can use. That is the meaning of that. What it returns? It returns boolean. What is the name of the method? Add method. What is the object? What do you pass? What you pass? And all this is under which class? Array list class. Okay. I'll show you the proof. Now let's select this and say control click. Okay. So control. Okay. Select this first and say control click. I got the array list class. Now see array list class. What is this class? Public class array list. Don't worry about E and all. E is like element. E is like element, integer element, all that. It is extending what? Abstract list. Okay, fine. So that is not a thing that is has to be considered. Now you see public class array list. Okay, right. So go down slowly, or I will say add. Now see, we have so many add methods. Okay. Now this is the add method that I was talking about. Don't worry about the code. So add E means the object. So now what I've shown you, what is this class I've just shown you, and what is this method just I've shown you. Okay. So what I've shown you, it is public, boolean, add, E means the object. E means element or the object. Understanding? Clear or not? Okay. Now for your more information, to give you more and more information, so go for the second one. Now tell me what is second one? Green circle. Very good. What it returns? Very good. What is add? Method. Method name. What is int index? First parameter. What is the second? Object element. Object element. Done. Okay. Now let me show you this here. Okay. Down you check. So public void add int index e element. So code we don't have to worry about. Code and everything is ready. Code and everything functionality is already there. You are just using that functionality. You are just using that functionality. Yes. What are you doing? You are using that functionality. Yes. Here, suppose you go to a movie. Now let's say now some movie DJ Tillu 2 is going on. Okay, theater will be ready. What will change? Movies will change. Here theater and everything is ready. What we will change? We will change the objects. I will take 45, you will take 50, I will take 100, you will take 75. It's up to us. Format is ready. Methods means what? Methods and classes and interface means what? Formats will be ready. You have to customize on your requirement. I want to set, I want to take 45. Yes, take 40. I want to take 55. Oh, take 55. Yes. Am I crystal clear? Yes or no? Okay. So that's the way we need to deal with this, right? All the other methods are like that only. Add all method, add first method, add last method, right? So these are the methods that we use for adding the objects, Am I clear? Not only these 45, 50, we can add a class object also. I'll show you that also. Am I crystal clear or not? Yes? Okay. Now let's understand. Okay. Add. Now I will add 58. Where the 58 will go now? That 58 will go into AL1. Where the 58 will go? 58 will go into AL1. 58 went into AL1? Yes or no? 58 went as the first element because it follows index. It follows index. Array, no? Array list. Array list. Array list means like array only. Okay. System.out.println. Okay. So now I will add 7.5. Now tell me what happened. Element added? Yes or no? Yes or no? Say true. Element added? Now say null. Okay. Element added? Okay. Now repeat. Repeat. 7.5 and you repeat true also. Okay. Right. And you repeat null also. Now tell me what happened. We added, what we added? We added the element. We added the element. Yes or no? How we added? We added with a method called add. We added with a method called add. Okay. Now what we did? Add 58. So it was empty, no? No elements were there. Now array means fixed, no? If you create an empty array, it will be empty array. You cannot add the elements or anything later from runtime. Yes, but here what you are doing? You are adding 58. So where is 58 going and sitting? Here. So this will be 0. Next 75. 1. What is this 0 and 1, sir? They are index. They are what? Index. Okay, next true. Next null. Next, next, next. Like this. Understanding my point? Yes or no? So what are we doing? We are having We are having the element. We are having the element added. We are adding the element. I mean, we are having the element added with which method? With add method. Yes, we are adding, no? Yes. Not only this, you can add the employee object, student object. That also you can add. Okay, I'll show you later. So for now, we will not go into the depth of it. Right? Okay. Now, let's go for okay. So for now only adding. When in Java 8 if I use, I'll show you more methods. Okay, because this is like a foundation for your Java 8. Okay. Later on, at that time, I'll show you how to add more elements, how to add a collection. That also I'll show you. So with that example. Okay. Right. Now I want to retrieve the elements. Okay. See, anyhow, you can easily understand by this. Now I want to add all. I mean, add at a particular index. Okay, for example, okay, I'll show you that. That will be useful. Now I want to add at 3. At 3, I want to add false. At 3, I want to add false. Now see what happened. What happened now? False added onto 3 and null is moved. Null is moved or not? Why? Why null is moved? Because we said, hey boss, at 3 place. Who is the 3 place? 0, 1, 2, 3. At 3 place, you add false. You are increasing the array or not? You are increasing the array or not? You can. You can increase the array. Dynamism or not? You can have all types of elements or not? Dynamism or not? That is what is dynamic array for you. Understanding? Am I crystal clear? Yes? Okay. So in this way, you can even add the elements. You can even add the elements in the middle also. In the middle. Okay. So all the other elements you can try later. Okay. Anyhow, at the time of telling you the Java 8 terminology, I can tell you again. No problem. Okay. If at all required. Done? Understanding? Yes or no? Okay. So this is how you can add the elements. Now, next is I want to retrieve the elements. I want to retrieve the element. Retrieving means, so generally what you do in arrays, you simply say, okay, so let me take out all these things. Now in arrays, generally what you say? In arrays, now for example, if I want to access, uh, if I want to access, let's say 7.5, what you will say? This 7.5 I want to access. What you will say? System.out.println, you will say al1 of 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You will say this or not? But here, this will fail. This will fail. What is the error it is giving me? It is telling me that, hey boss, every program tells you something. Hey boss, this expression is arrays expression. This expression is arrays expression. Whose expression is that? It's an arrays expression. As it is an array expression, you cannot use it over in collections. You cannot use it over in collections. As it is array expression, you cannot use it here. Okay, sir, then how can I get the elements? See, collection, everything is defined by the help of the methods only. Everything is defined by the methods only. So what I'll do, I will say system.out.println al1 dot get method. Which method? Get method. Now understand. Get. Okay, very easy. See, once you understand the terminology, things are very easy. Accessing the elements. Accessing the elements. So now I want to access the elements. Okay. Now tell me what happens. What I'm asking over here? Tell me the definition of the method. Public. Understanding method definition is very important for Java students. Public. What it returns? Very good. It returns the object. Next. Get int of index. None. Yes or no? Okay. Now whenever you use get, you use index. Instead of saying al1 of 4, you say al1 dot get of 4. What it will return? 7.5. Who is 7.5? 7.5 is the object. It is as simple as that. Get first, give the first element. Get last, give the last element. That's it. That's it. It is very, very, very simple. Yes, using the methods, understanding the methods is important. Yes, crystal clear? Okay. Now let's understand get of 4. Same this only, but this is not allowed, this is allowed. That's it. Okay. So what I will get? I will get 7.5. Why, sir? You want me to get that particular element. Get that particular element. Yes? Okay. Next. System.al1 dot get. I'll show you one example only. You can go for the other example. Get first. So what I want to get? I want to get the first element. I want to get the first element. Okay. I want to get the last element. Get the last element. So what is the last element? So last element is nothing but null. Who is the last element? Null is the last element. Understanding my point? Yes. Okay. How you cannot access? You cannot access by using the array type of definition. By using what? Array type of definition. You cannot access by array type of definition. So how you can access? You can access by using get methods. Get methods. Clear? Understanding the points? Okay. Next we will talk about removing the element. Removing the element. Now I want to remove the element. I want to remove the element. Okay. So for remove also, okay. So al1 dot remove. So what you can see over there. Okay. So for removing, what methods you have? Okay. So this we will use in Java 8. Okay. So this one we will use in Java 8. For now, you can just ignore it. Okay. Remove element at a particular index. Remove element at a particular index. Okay. Remove element at a particular index. So remove object O. Okay. Remove all. Remove first. Remove last. So now I want to remove an element from a particular index. Okay. Now let's see. I want to remove, okay, 3. So I want to remove 3. Okay. Now system.out.println al1. Now tell me what got deleted. Tell me what got deleted. So al1, what you are saying? al1 dot remove 3. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Who got deleted? Null got deleted, no? Like this. Okay, same thing. Remove first, remove last. Okay. So now for example, if I am saying remove first, so remove last, so remove last, so remove last, so remove first and remove last. System.out.println al1. Okay. Now tell me what happened. you remove the first element, you remove the last element. So you remove the first element and you remove the last element. Done. So in that way you can remove also. See, mainly these things only, no, adding, getting, removing. So in Java 8, what we do, sir, with collection, we will do mapping, we will do filtering, we'll do data filtering. Now, for example, in Amazon, you will be typing the range. You'll be giving the range, you know. So you want products from 10,000 to 15,000. What you're doing? You are filtering. You are filtering. So now you want mapping. Mapping means I want a mapping of elements to two particular areas. So that two particular areas only I will be mapping. Okay, like that. That operations we will do on the collections there. For now, adding, removing, retrieving, these three are the main important things. Okay, then we go for one more very important thing. We go for iterations. We go for what? Iterations on the, we go for what, sir? Iterations on the list. Iterations on the list. Iteration means iteration on the list. Iteration means you want all the elements at a time, like a loop. Loop you have, no, loop. So you want loop of elements. You want loop of elements. So what you want, sir? You want loop of elements, or you want the iteration of elements. Okay. Okay. Right. So iterations of the list. So how you can go for? Okay. Now for loop is there. Generally for loop is there. For each loop is there. Now go to Java 8. You will have again one more kind of for each loop. Okay. Right. So everything we can do it in Java 8. So the loops we can do the if structure, all that we can do in Java 8 also. So that is the main point I want to teach you Java 8. Okay. So iterations on the list. So what are the iterations that are to be done on this? Okay. So we will go with the normal things. Then I'll tell you specialist ones. Okay. So using for loop. So using for loop. Okay. So normally, how can I use for loop here? Tell me. First, we'll use a normal general for loop. Okay. Okay. If I give you an array and if I ask you to write a for loop for the array, what you will do? You will write something like this. No? Suppose I have a array of elements, something like 3, 8, 9, 4, 2. Now, if I ask you to write a loop on this, how you will write? For int I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I plus plus. Okay, so then you will write system dot out dot println array of I. You will write like this or not? Yes, but can you write this here? You cannot write this logic, no? What logic you can write? You can write get logic. What you can write? Get logic. Yes or no? Yes, get logic. Okay. Now let me write it. Okay. Now let's say for int I is equal to 0. So it will start from 0. I less than al1 dot size. al1 dot size. So what does al1 dot size will do? It will give the total size. See, from the runtime you are getting a collection. So you cannot say that I am getting only 15 values, I am getting only 20 values. So you want the program to determine. You want the program to determine the size. How the program will determine the size? By saying al1 dot size. al1 dot size. So then I will say I plus plus. Okay. Right? So system dot out dot println. I will say al1 dot uh, get of I. That's it. al1 dot get of I. That's it. Did you get all the elements? Did you get all the elements or not? Yes. Did you get all the elements or not? How?
Yes,
How you
sir.
got all the elements? How you got all the elements? By using the loops. It is as simple as that. Right? Am I crystal clear? Okay. So this is using what? This is using a normal for loop. Using a normal for loop. You are using a normal for loop. Same like arrays only. Okay. Now I will go for each loop. Okay. So how can I use the for each loop? Okay. Now basically going back to this, how can you use a for each loop for this? How can you use a for each loop for this? For int I colon ar. I think you forgot for loops, for each loops and everything. Int I colon ar. Okay. Int I colon ar system dot out dot println of I. That's it. You have to say that or not? Okay. Now what are they? They are the objects. No, they are not integer. If you use int, it is suitable only for 58. If you use double or float, it is suitable only for this. So if you are using bool, it is suitable for this. But for null, what you will use? You don't have anything. Yes, but null is also an object who is universal. Object is universal. Who is universal? Object is universal. So what I'll do, I will say object. I'll say what? Object I colon, okay, al1. Object I colon al1. So now what I'll say? I'll simply say I. That's it. Object is universal. So it can take anything. It can take anything. You give 58, I will take. You give 7.5, I will take. You give true, I will take. You give null, I will take. You give 7.5, I will take. You give true, I will take. If you give null, I will take. Yes, anything I can take. Yes, that is why object is universal. Everything is object in collection. Everything is object. All the data elements are object. So that is why object is accepted. Now what you will get? You will get this. You will get. Am I clear? Am I clear or not? Yes or no? So that is the way that you are looking into the thing. Yes. So this is for each loop. Okay. Right. So these are the general ways to look into it. So in our next session, I will be talking about how we can access by using iterator. Okay. So that, and we will start with Java 8. So for Java 8, this is minimum required. Okay. So minimum required. So what I will be doing is parallelly I will be covering the collections also. So Java 8 collection, Java 8 collection. So like that I will be covering. Okay. So but for Java 8 understanding, this is minimum. This is minimum to minimum. Yes. So that is why I told you this. Okay. Right. So that's it for today. So we will meet in our next. Okay. So hope collection framework is not over. We still need to go for linked list, vector, stack, and all. But I want to do it parallelly so that your time is not wasted. The main aim is your time and my time also. Okay. So unnecessarily doing everything is like waste of time. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone having any doubts, any questions, online guys? If you have, please ask me. So we have Tejasvi, Meena, Saket, Stella. Yeah. Anyone having any issues, any problem, any questions, you can raise.
No, sir.
Okay. So keep practicing. So practicing is very much required. If you are not practicing, I can't do anything. Yes. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.